What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the greatest gaming podcast on the internet, the One Up Gamescast. I'm one of your hosts, Carl Sinclair, joined as always by my brother from another mother, the man with the plan, Master Cheeks in the sheets, Master Chief in the streets, Jack Gibb. How you doing, buddy?
Doing good, mate. Once again, come to the Gamescast without a plan. How you doing?
It's that's just how we roll. It's how we roll, it's how we do it. I'm doing good. I'm actually so happy. I finished up at work today for the year, so I got a couple weeks off, which means
Me too.
Oh, mate, I'm so excited. We have the opportunity to... Well, here's the thing. It's like we have the opportunity to go back, play all the games that we missed out on this year, finish off some games before we get into the stacked year next year. But I have a feeling that it's going to be Call of Duty and Helldivers for 2 weeks straight. We're not going to have any control over that. You know what I mean? Our urges to play those games always take over. And it's very sad. It's very bad.
Yeah, I really got to keep cracking with Indiana Jones. I do feel the urge, which is good. But it is up against Helldivers, which is rough.
Maybe we can blame Jake. He's not here to defend himself. He is the one that, drags us into these situations, these terrible, evil situations. Because...
I agree. Let's blame him.
Like, all he's playing is the multiplayer stuff. I have actually put in a fair few hours into Dragon Age, and I'm almost done. You know what I mean? You're putting in a fair few hours into Indiana Jones. When we don't let him influence us, we are gamers. Like, we play video games. You know what I mean? When he's around, we're COD players. We're ranked players when he's around. We have no choice.
When did we meet him? You know what I mean? When did we meet him? Because I feel like I might be onto something.
2020. Like, I feel like it's been, 4 years? It has to have been, right?
Yeah, well, you saw how long it took me to play Forbidden West. That's his fault.
True. This is his fault. This is why there aren't more reviews on the channel, guys. Because when I sit down to play a single player game, I get a message. It's like, I'll be on in a minute. Like, oh no. Oh, do I tell him I'm playing something else? And then I say, hey, Call of Duty loads. I'm like, I don't think I have a choice. Like, I have to go. And you know what's great? He doesn't listen to this, so he'll never know the shit we're talking. And Av, if you let it slip, I'll ban you. I'll ban you from the Twitch, mate, and we'll know it's you. You'll be in trouble. No, but mate, yeah. We came in here without a plan. So what are we doing? We're gonna do something. Well, we do have a plan. So next week will be our final episode of the year, and we will be doing our version of the Game Awards. I forget what we called them.
Well, it used to be the Laggies.
It used to be the Laggies. I'll come up with a good name for the One Up Awards. But yeah, we'll be doing our game of the year, going through the games that we've played this year. There aren't many. And we're going to give out some awards. We'll do that next week. This week, though, we're going to look a little bit further ahead. We're going to go through and just talk about some of the games coming out next year and the fact that it's already a stacked year full of games that we're not going to play because Call of Duty and Helldivers exists. And yeah, hopefully, I'm going to attempt to play a lot more games next year. That's my goal, is to play as many games as I can because I want to review as many games as I can. So my goal is to just play the hell out of games next year. And it's so stacked. Like, it's so crazily stacked already. Which is mental. But, yeah, let's...
Actually, out of control.
It's mental. So let's get into it. Well, we've got a list up over on, I've already forgot, GameSpot. Every time I think of GameSpot, I almost always say GameStop.
It's funny because I'm the same, but every time I think of GameStop, I got to say GameSpot.
Yeah.
Just can't differentiate the two.
One of them needs to change. I mean, one of them's probably going to close down soon, so it won't be a problem anymore. But yeah. And the sad thing is I say that, and it could be either of them. So that's also pretty scary. All right. They've kindly separated a whole bunch of games into the months that they're coming out of, the stuff we know about, and a big list of stuff that we have no clue at the moment. We're just going to pop through month to month, have a talk about some of these games, and yeah. Man, basically we're making a list of stuff that we should play but probably won't get to. So let's start with January, and I think the first game that is probably going to be a game that I'm going to play, because I can take it with me anywhere I want to go, is Donkey Kong Country Returns, which is... Have you got GameSpot's website up with this list?
No, I can have a look for it though if you like.
Oh, no need, mate. I was just going to say, maybe I'm high, but apparently they believe that Donkey Kong Country Returns HD is coming to the PS5, PS4, the Xbox Series X and S, the Xbox One, Switch, and PC. I can guarantee
say
you
there
all
was
it's only coming to the Switch.
Yeah, there's probably some flaws in this list, but that's all right. We're gonna stick with it.
We'll find them. Yeah, so Donkey Kong Country Returns HD. I want to talk about this one really quick because I think next year we're probably going to get a brand new Donkey Kong game because January is also the rumored month that we will be seeing the Nintendo Switch 2, which should be called the Super Nintendo Switch, but they're not going to do that because they hate money. So I think next year we're probably going to get a new Donkey Kong game, so it's probably good that we're going to get Returns because we got Tropical Freeze, but everybody wanted Country Returns, and now we're finally getting it. We're getting it right towards the end, so maybe this new Donkey Kong game is going to be more like Returns, but who knows? Are you going to play Donkey Kong, or are you just going to wait for the Switch 2?
Yeah, I'm just waiting for the Switch 2 at this point. I think I'm done investing in the Switch. I did get Tomb Raider on the Switch, the remake, because I already had it on Xbox, got the physical edition on the Switch. So I'm hoping... Actually, no, Nintendo has confirmed it's backwards compatible, haven't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, sweet. So I placed a bet on that, which is great. I don't know, I haven't really played a lot of Donkey Kong in my life. Like, a little bit, but...
I think you would like Country Returns. I think you would like it. It's like... This is like Donkey Kong's like side scroller. It's very, very good. Like it's
well, I've watched a lot of the one on Wii U. Is it Tropical Freeze? Is that the one on Wii U?
Yeah, Tropical Freeze. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure Returns was on the Wii, and it was really, really good. And then Tropical Freeze was on the Wii U, and then Tropical Freeze is on the Switch now. Right. It was weird they did Tropical Freeze before they did Returns because I think Returns was the one that people really wanted because Returns was like. This is going to sound dumb. When it came out, it was such a return to form for like a Donkey Kong game. I remember putting hours into Country Returns. It was so good.
I wonder if it was just a case of they could smash the move to Switch. Like they've moved so many Wii games to Switch at this point.
Yeah,
they'd have to have some processes that make that very efficient.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe that's what's up. But yeah, I'm glad the game exists. I think the game looks cool, but I'm not sure if I'll play it, to be honest.
That's totally fair. I think whatever this Donkey Kong game, this rumored Donkey Kong game for the Switch 2 ends up being, I think it will be I think it'll be a country sequel. I think because we've gotten Donkey Kong Country Returns, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. I think whatever we get next will be like a third country game in this like little trilogy of games.
I hope we don't have to wait long for it. I feel like fans deserve a fresh entry in that series.
My theory on this is, right, we're gonna I think it's gonna be a quick turnaround. I think we're gonna get the announcement in January for a release in like March, like it happened the first time. I can either see a Donkey Kong game coming at launch or being the holiday game. And I think it swaps places with whatever this Odyssey sequel is. So we're either gonna get an Odyssey sequel for launch or that's gonna be our holiday game. And then they will swap places because Mario Kart is supposed to be a launch title, rumored. So does it make sense to drop a Mario Kart and an Odyssey 2 at the same time? Or does it make sense to drop a Mario Kart and a Donkey Kong Country sequel at the same time?
I think that makes more sense.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So I can see if the Mario Kart 9 thing is just absolute bull, then I can totally see a Donkey Kong Mario being able to switch places, one being the Christmas game or one being the launch game. Like, I feel like they're very interchangeable because a lot of people want a new Odyssey, but I think a lot of people want a Donkey Kong as well. So yeah, I'm keen.
I'm just excited about a launch lineup. We haven't had a console with a launch lineup probably since the Switch.
Yeah. Oh, dude. I think it's going to bang too. I think it's going to be really good. And if like a lot of these games that are like listed here come out next year, Switch 2 is looking to have a really solid first year. Like if Metroid Prime does its thing and actually comes out, my goodness, will that be like crazy. Oh, so excited. The next game we're going to talk about here is Synduality Echoes of Ada. So this is literally just for me. I just want to talk about this real quick. So it's a mech game, right? With waifus. So you're like in a mech, you're a pilot, but for some reason everybody has a floating anime girl that floats next to your mech. I'm very excited about it. There is a preview test on at the moment, but I'm unable to install it fully until I've beaten Dragon Age. So I'll probably play that over the weekend, because this is what was crazy to me. I thought I've got a little bit of space left, and I seen that it was having a play test over the weekend, and I'm like, I'm gonna hop in. I really want to give this a go. Everything I've seen, I've been following this game, the trailers and all that stuff real closely. It's just another awesome like Japanese game. You know, I love that shit. I love the waifu games. And the preview, like the beta test, is 52 gig. And I'm like, how much of this game are they about to let us play? Like, what the hell? Like, that's crazy to me.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah. But no, I'm very excited to jump into that one, because I think it's going to be something that's going to fly under the radar, but might actually bang. So I'll be very interested to see if it does. Another one for my weebs out there, Neptunia Riders vs. Dogoos is coming out next year, January 28th. Very excited for that one. It's getting censored on Switch for some reason. Very weird. We'll talk about that in the future. I think the last game to really talk about for January is a game that could very well eat up a chunk of our lives, because the previous one did. Sniper Elite Resistance comes out at the end of the month. And I'm keen. I do enjoy a Sniper Elite game. I've been a very big fan of the series. I really do enjoy it. And I did enjoy our time with Sniper Elite 5. I feel like it was the perfect storm of like everybody getting in, and we had a lot of fun with the multiplayer. So I'm hoping it happens again with Resistance, because Sniper Elite is one of those series that always dropping bangers, but very much flies under the radar of like the mainstream.
Yeah, it used to fly under my radar as well. So I'm very glad that it came to Game Pass and exposed a bit wider audience to the game. Hope that wider audience comes back for Resistance, which I think is on Game Pass anyway.
It is.
I'm very excited. That multiplayer was something special, and the co-op campaign was obviously, phenomenal. So definitely keen to check that out. I could see us losing at least a few weeks of that one.
Keen. Well, mate, it's only going to be able to have us for a few weeks, because February is so stacked already. I can basically talk about almost every game in February. So coming out on the 4th, we have we've got Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Definitely want to jump into that. Here's, oh my god, sorry, I nearly choked. Here's what. Oh my goodness, I have popcorn stuck in my throat. Here's what's awesome. So Kingdom Come Deliverance 1 eventually did come to console, but it was definitely built for PC first. This one is being built for everything at the same time. So I feel like the experience we're going to have with Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is going to be so much smoother for a console player than it was the first time around. Plus, this story looks cool. They look like they've really smoothed out some of the combat. I think it's going to be one of those ones that's going to come out, and I think it's going to be like the perfect storm. I think everybody's going to jump on just to give it a go, and I think people are going to love it. And I think when we get to the end of next year, people are going to be talking about it in their Game of the Year conversations. That's how much faith I have in this game. I think it's going to be.
Do you have to have played the first one to enjoy the second one?
I believe it's a complete new story with complete new characters. Like, it's basically they've gone, oh, people really like the first one. We're going to do a sequel. Let's just do like a reset here and then build on it from there. Because I think the first one was more of a love letter to the type of game they wanted to make. And it did very well, and it was very enjoyable. And like myself and everybody else had a really good time. So I am keen to jump into the second one. And I think, a lot of people are going to jump in and really enjoy it. And I think they knew that going in. Like, I think they knew not a lot of people are going back to the first one. So let's just jump in and like smash it out. Are you going to play Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, my friend? Are you interested at all?
I'm quite interested. Yeah, I just, it might come down to just the time of the year and the wallet more than anything. If it's in Game Pass, that'd be great. But if not, might have to wait for it just to find a spot. But I'm quite interested. The reveal, well, I don't know if it was a reveal, but the trailer I copped at Summer Games Fest, I thought was really good.
Yeah, it was great.
That trailer did its job. Put it that way.
So next day we have Rift of the Necrodancer. Definitely going to jump into that. Then the next week we have Sid Meier's Civ 7. Definitely going to be jumping into that one. That one's launching PS5, Xbox, Switch, and PC all the same day. Another one that I think is going to be really good because it's been built for everything from the ground up. So I think everybody's going to have a really good time with that one. I'm excited for it. Then a couple days later, we finally, hopefully, fingers crossed, might not happen. Hopefully it does. We'll get the release of Assassin's Creed Shadows. Which is the Japanese Assassin's Creed game that has been going
positivity starting to build for that game. Starting to get increased positivity online, which is good.
Thank Christ.
Thanks for the delays doing good work.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing: if it comes out and it's not good, like they're gonna cop some flack. You know what I mean? They're gonna cop it.
I mean, it was never going to be good, I guess, if
Yeah,
that's the case.
if that happens, yeah. So fingers crossed. Also, the same day we have a new Legend of Heroes games, Trails Through Daybreak 2. I will jump into that one eventually. I don't think that's going to be a day one for me. I got to get through Shadows.
There's a lot on that day, and there's also the Tomb Raider trilogy coming out on that day as well, like the second trilogy.
That's true.
It's not on the list, but it's that is coming out on that day.
That's a packed day. Okay, I'm going to play Shadows, then I'm going to play Tomb Raider, then I'll get to Trails Through Daybreak. I promise I'll get there, everybody. I promise my wee brothers I'll get there. But I got to get through Shadows fast because 4 days later, I think a game that's going to eat a lot of my time, Avowed, comes out. And I'm very excited to jump in and finally experience a game that has sort of had me... It's had me interested, you know what I mean? It's had its hooks in me. Everything I've seen, I'm kind of like, this looks like a 360 hours game that I want to go back and play.
Yeah.
So I'm keen to jump in.
It looks good and interesting, but it's like, I feel like it's one of those games where it's like, because you can try it with Game Pass, you sort of don't force yourself to have to find out if it's good or not. You'll just find out in February.
Yeah. No, I agree. Also that same day, we have Lost Records Bloom and Rage Tape 1. This is from the Life is Strange guys, or the former Life is Strange guys. This is Tape 1. I think Tape 2 releases a couple of months later. Definitely will check it out. But like I said, Avowed, going to eat up my time. It's going to eat up my time because 10 days later, Monster Hunter Wilds comes out, and that is going to just freaking destroy my life, I think, for a little while there. I'm so freaking excited for Monster Hunter Wilds. I played the beta when it happened. I had a really good time. The beta, like the story opening to this game, goes so hard. It goes harder than any game really needed to. Like it's action packed. It's pretty sick. I'm very excited for Monster Hunter Wilds. And I know it's a solo affair. I know I'm not going to get anybody else to play. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say goodbye to you guys on the 27th, and I will see you guys on March 6th. Because that's when the next game we'll probably be playing comes out. So yeah, Monster Hunter Wilds, very keen. Then on March 4th, 2 Point Museum comes out, which, here's the thing, it's coming out on PS5, Xbox, and PC. I'm looking at it, I'm excited for it, I'm just going to wait for the Switch. Like, I'm just going to wait for a Switch version, because that is a sort of, actually, maybe I do get it for PS5, because that could be a Portal-ass game for me to chill out in bed with.
That would work on the Portal.
We'll think about it, maybe. Then on the 6th, we're back, baby. Frag Punk is coming out. It's coming out PS5, Xbox Series X and S and PC. That is the tactical shooter where you break cards and it affects the environment and all that fun stuff. Frag Punk, get hyped. Then Split Fiction. Here's an announcement, everyone. Well, I'll be there. Myself and the Jacob Barros are going to be playing Split Fiction on stream. We're going to play that game. We're also going to play through some of the earlier games as well to get us ready for that. Don't know if we'll stream them. We might. Stay tuned. But yeah, we will be playing through Split Fiction. Very excited for that game. It was a game that me and him and myself fell in love with during the Game Awards this year. Like we seen that trailer and we were locked in from the get-go, and we knew in that moment we were playing this game. So very excited. Next, after that, Suikoden 1 and 2 HD are coming out. That's more of a Kaila's game. Wonder Stop is coming out on March 11, March 18. So a month later, we're getting Bloom and Rage Tape 2. The next Atelier game, Atelier Yumiya, comes out on March 21st. I will be playing the hell out of that one. Tales of the Shire, a Lord of the Rings game, is a farming game that, if it didn't have Lord of the Rings in the title, I wouldn't care about. That's where I'm at with these cozy ass farming games, right? Like you've got to give me something pretty freaking stellar to get me to give a damn. So like,
well, the Rings will do it.
That'll do it. I think the one thing I hate about it is about the title is I feel like if you just called it Tales of the Shire, cool. It's the little, like, a Lord of the Rings game. Like, yeah, we know, like...
It really devalues it, doesn't it?
It does. And it's like, guys, like, the Lord of the Rings people will know it's Lord of the Rings. You know what I mean? Or just put Lord of the Rings, Tales of the Shire. The Lord of the Rings game thing is crazy because they didn't do that with, like, you know, there wasn't Gollum. a Lord of the Rings game, because they didn't want anybody to know that was from Lord of the Rings after that thing came out. But yeah, crazy. Then on the 27th, we have AI Limit. So there may be a video up on the channel before the end of the year of me playing that demo. It's very cool. There might be a video. I'm not making any promises. There's a lot to do before the end of the year. So yeah. Also on the 27th, there's so many on the 27th. That's a stacked day for me. We also have Atomfall. Definitely want to jump into that. First Berserker Kazan. Must jump into that. It's a dungeon and fighter game from that universe. We've been seeing this a lot. They've been hyping this up for the last couple of years, so I'm definitely keen to jump in. Then we move on to April, where the only thing really worth talking about is Fatal Fury City of Wolves coming out on the 21st of April. Very excited for that. And then in October, we have Double Dragon Revive coming October 23. Now, there are a whole bunch of games that don't have release dates, like at all, like ever. Like they may never come out. So we're going to talk about a couple that excite us, and just really need to be spoken about. So 2XKO, do you know what 2XKO is?
No.
2XKO is the League of Legends fighting game.
Oh.
Now I'm probably going to screw this up, but I'm going to do my best. 2XKO, right? It's a League of Legends fighting game. They've added a whole bunch of characters. They're slowly revealing more, but effectively how it works, right, is it's a multiplayer fighting game in the sense that you pick a character, I pick a character, and we're on the same team. It's like tag team fighter. So we'll go up against two other people. And what it is if you're like, switch with me, we press a button and you and me swap places. So you'll pull out and I'll be in there fighting somebody else. And then if we need to swap back, we'll swap back and we can combo off each other and all that sort of stuff. That's what I'm led to believe. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. There was a beta and people have just sung its praises since that beta. Like people are like, this is the second coming of Jesus. And I'm like, okay, all right. When it comes, I'll jump into it. So that will probably be an interesting one. Yeah, it's very different. And I think if you're going to release a League of Legends fighter, you need, like, the League of Legends games, I think, have done a really good job of, like, these spin-off games of doing stuff completely different. Like, trying to find their own sort of unique way of doing it. So, yeah, this being, like a fighter in the sense that, like, you know, like, it's a multiplayer fighter, but in the way that, like, you and me team up to fight two other people. I think that's cool. I think that's cool. I think it's a great way to mix it up. But yeah, that comes out next year, apparently. So fingers crossed it does, because I'm pretty sure it doesn't have a cemented release date, only that they've said that they intend to release before the end of next year. That is their goal. So we will see. I think the next big thing we should talk about, which is definitely coming out next year, is Borderlands 4. Mate, are we jumping in? Are we getting a squad together? Are we going to beat Borderlands 4?
I think I can be peer pressured pretty easily, but someone will have to make me. I don't think it'll take much, but if someone says we're playing this tonight, I'll probably be there.
Mission accepted. I'll make it happen. Another one that I don't think you'll play, but you might play, but I'm not sure. Claire Obscure Expedition 33.
I have not heard of it.
So you've definitely seen it. So it's that weird game that they show at like...
Oh, real artsy one.
Yeah, where it's like it looks like a tactical RPG, but it's like when people get to the age of 33, they like disappear. So it's these people trying to defeat this witch or whatever it is that's responsible for everything happening. It looks so cool. I don't know
if I'll play it, but it looks awesome, yeah.
I'm keen. See, that to me looks like a stream-ass game. Like, that's something I'll sit down and, like, it's going to be that game that I play every night, and it's going to be like, I might as well just stream it. You know what I mean? It's going to be that sort of thing where I'm just going to, might as well. So, yeah, I'm keen for that. I'm surprised it doesn't have a release date yet. I'm going to assume it's probably going to come out after Summer Games Fest, just to give it, like, one more go, maybe, like, a proper gameplay showing. I'm very keen. Another game that I'm super keen for, and I'm hoping it comes more towards the end of the year, so I'm guaranteed to get like a Switch 2 version of it, is Coffee Talk Tokyo. Coffee Talk is finally going to Tokyo, guys. Everyone's going to Tokyo except me. No, I love the Coffee Talk games. I think it's awesome that they're doing this one. I'm very keen to jump into it. Next, let's talk about Crimson Desert. This will definitely be something that I will try. I don't think it will keep me because I can't afford to let too many games keep my attention for too long, but I definitely want to jump in. As a Black Desert boy, very keen to see what Crimson Desert brings to the table. Very keen. Here's a game I think we'll play, the both of us, because it's probably going to come out at some point next year, hopefully. Death Stranding 2 on the beach. Are you going to jump into Death Stranding 2?
I don't think so, to be honest. The game just doesn't. It looks crazy, but I don't know. It just doesn't like pull me in, you know.
Fair enough. It's like the first one.
I haven't played the first one yet.
You deliver packages, maybe, and then the sequel you deliver food, maybe. They mix
Pizza
it up
delivery. Maybe it feels a bit like the Simpsons Road Rage game that I would love a remake to.
I play it. You know what? I'm pretty sure, and this is just gonna add to like at least I'm consistent. Pretty sure I played the first one up until Jeff Keighley showed up, and then I stopped for a few days because I was enraged. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. I don't think I went back. I know how it ends. I know how it all goes, but it's that thing of like.
But you haven't played it since then.
No. It's that thing of like.
So good.
It's like I know how it goes because so many people talked about it. You know what I mean? It's one of those things where it's like when so many people talk about a movie and you've just not seen it. Or like an anime. Anime is a great one where like people talk so much about certain anime, certain moments that happen in the anime all the time, and like when other anime are like pulling from it and all that sort of shit, that like I've never seen that anime, but I know exactly how it goes. I know exactly the beats. I know exactly where it's heading. You know, it's like people talk about it so much, you just have a really good understanding of what the hell is going on. So yeah. Oh goodness, this one you have to play. I'm not actually giving you a choice. Doom: The Dark Ages. I think
Does look good.
Gonna bang, brother. I think that's gonna be so good. I know it's gonna hit so hard. I'm so excited for it. Very keen. Oh, so sick. There we have Dune Awakening. Is that something you might try? I don't know. Dune Awakening is gonna be that thing where it's like, if I got to pay to play, I think it's a maybe.
It's an MMO, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's
I'm happy to keep it on the radar, but
yeah.
I don't know. No commitments.
It's like when we seen that gameplay, I was kind of like, okay, like this is cool. This feels like an MMO that has a goal. But it's also like, it looks like an obtainable goal after a certain amount of hours. And then I'm like, what do you do with that? Like, what do you do with this game after the people have hit that goal? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, Doom.
Maybe that's a good thing if it just sort of ends.
Yeah. But it's like it's an MMO. You know what I mean? MMOs never end.
Yeah.
And it's like Dune is such a rich universe for story, but the thing is it's told one story, and that story is very tight. Like, there's not a lot of room to play with it.
Almost like the first John Wick film.
Yeah.
Like, you couldn't, like, they're expanding the universe now, which is amazing, and I love it. But, like, after that first movie, like, there's more to this world, but, like, you'd have to make it up at that point. Like, you just wouldn't know.
True. Good. Yeah, that's a good. I like that. Good analogy. Dying Light: The Beast comes out. Keen to jump into that. Elden Ring: Night Rain. So we found out the other day that Elden Ring: Night Rain. Okay, get this. I think I told Jake, but I'm not sure if I told you. So Elden Ring: Night Rain is only playable in single player or 3-player. There is no 2-player. There is no 4-player. Like, it's 1 or 3. There are no other options.
It's a weird choice.
Yeah. It's reminding me of, like, I think it was like a year or two ago when somebody was at Summer Games and they were like walked away and they were talking about the future of games, and they were like, 3-player is the future of multiplayer. Like, I was like, oh, okay, I'll be interested to see when that comes into being. I think we're starting to see it. Like, you know, like, I think, like, Everyone's trying to capture that Apex squad mentality of like three got to be better than two, guys. You know what I mean? We're adding an extra one in
Why
there.
though? Like, I don't understand why.
It's like when we argue, it's nice to have a tiebreaker. You know what I mean? It's like, do we go left to fight this boss? Do we go right to fight that boss? I want to do this one. He wants to do that one. Jack comes in. We're going right.
Yeah, the problem is our squad is one of you will go left, one of you will go right, and we all just fucking die.
Yeah. I think we will jump into this. I feel like we have to. Like, I think it's going to be one of those games where it's going to create... just like when we play these like it's pure chaos. It's pure gold from start to finish. This game will just create some of the greatest chaos that people have ever seen from us. I feel like it's going to be great. Yeah, very, very keen for that one. Very keen to jump in. I think it'll be a good time. So this probably coming out next year. Ghosts of Yotei. As a Ghost of Tsushima superfan, I'm very excited to jump into this sequel. I'm excited to see what they do, what they change, where they go. I know a lot of people are getting shitty about it. I don't care. I'm excited to jump in.
They can fuck off.
100%. I am really, really excited. So cannot wait. Grand Theft Auto 6. Not happening. Probably not coming out next year. There's a lot of rumors saying it's like dropped to the year after, which is good because a lot of people are talking like the big thing on the internet was like, oh no, I'm not letting people know when my game's coming out until I know when Grand Theft Auto is coming out, because I think people are on the mind like when Grand Theft Auto is coming out, the 2 weeks leading in and the 2 months after are off limits. Like I feel like so many people are like,
the game.
Yeah, it's done.
I think if it was coming out next year, we would have got trailer 2 by now, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the big tell. I could be wrong, of course, but if it's coming out in 26, I think it'll come out in the first 9 months.
I think so.
Like, I don't think it'll become a holiday game. I think either it comes out like Grand Theft Auto 5 in September, or it comes out in like April, May, or like I think it like it's Grand Theft Auto. It really doesn't matter when it comes out. Come out in the middle of fucking July, it's gonna sell. Like, you know what I mean?
I reckon May, because it would be so funny for them to drop that game right before Summer Games, where people have got to show their games off. It's like, hey, we've already got the Game of the Year at home, boys. like, what are we doing? Oh, that would be so crazy. I could see them taking start of the year first half of the year at some point for sure. I think at that point they'll just want to get it out. Like they've been working on it so long.
Yeah.
Judas is also slated for next year. It'll be interesting to see that. That is the game from the BioShock creator, Ken Levine.
Oh yeah.
Very interested to see what a spiritual successor to BioShock looks like from him. Because it looks very Bioshocky. I love he's like, I wanted to go away and make something different from Bioshock. And he basically just changed the title and kept the gameplay. So I'm very keen to see what that looks like. Little Nightmares 3 comes out next year. We're excited to jump into that one. Another one that, in my mind, I'm like, I don't know if they've announced it, but like, I could see that one having 3-player co-op. Like, the sequel had 2-player. Everyone's gone 3. Maybe it's time. What else have we got here that's worth talking about? We already talked about... Mouse PI for Hire. I'm keen for that one. That's the, like, Mickey Mouse looking first-person shooter.
Yeah.
I'm very excited. Because,
I
like...
think that game's going to go off.
I think so, too. Because I look at it and I'm like... It's about time there's another company capitalizing on what Cuphead did so well. Because, like, when Cuphead dropped, it was, like, such a moment. Everyone was like, this is crazy. This is awesome. And then nobody really tried that art style again. And then I'm like, well, maybe that's because it takes such a long time. Is probably...
I don't think Mouse PI for Hire is by hand. Like, I think it is animated.
Yeah. It looks great. Like, looks really,
beautiful.
Really good. Very keen for that. Another one I'm keen for is Mecha Break. Mecha Break will be coming out next year. I've really enjoyed my time with that game. The times I got to play it, really fun game. I'm excited. They just dropped a whole bunch of info at Summer Games, so keen to see more from them. Damn, there's so many games. Pokemon Legends. Now, I can't remember how it's supposed to be said. I think it's like Zeta A or something like that. That is the next in the Legends series. So Legends Arceus came out, was Different, but very similar. But I think that's what we need from a Pokemon game is we need that familiarity. Oh my god, my brain. But we also sort of like want something a little bit different. I think this game's going to give us that. The rumor is it all takes place in one city that's broken up into zones. It's supposed to be a really big game. It's supposed to have a lot of awesome like story content that is going to be like big for like Pokemon lore aficionados. So I'm keen for that one. Looking forward to jumping into that. There's a new Professor Layton game, Professor Layton in the New World of Steam. It's been a while since we had a Professor Layton game, so sick to see him making a return. Definitely want to jump into that one. Shovel Knight Shovel of Hope DX is coming to Switch. I'm pretty sure it's a compilation of everything Shovel Knight up until this point. Because I think they are working on a sequel. I think that was something. Or they're working on like their next thing. So I think this will be like the last big Shovel Knight sort of drop before we move on from this. So I'm glad they're sort of dropping everything in one though. I think that's a super smart move. Because I think if what they are working on next is a like Shovel Knight sequel, I think having everything that's come before that could impact that sequel in one package is a very smart idea. So yeah, very keen for that. We have the Alters. Do you remember the Alters?
No.
So
no.
The Alters is that guy on a spaceship who keeps cloning himself. And then you get to like all the clones have like different personalities, and you get to play as like the different clones on this ship.
No, I haven't heard of this.
Oh, I should definitely watch the trailer. It's a very good trailer. It's just like one guy, but like all the clones of him have different personalities when they come out. So like,
oh wait, maybe this was at one of the shows.
I think it was at an Xbox show. I think.
Yeah, just googled it. Kind of looks familiar.
Yeah, it looks great. Very very excited for that. Definitely, I think it's going to be that game that's going to be super different, and then I think word of mouth is going to get people playing that game. I think once someone plays it and they're like, "Wow, this is great,"
fair.
That's where it's going to happen. And then Wu Chang Fallen Feathers, that's coming out. That's another Dark Souls looking game coming out next year. And we also have Ys Memoir, The Oath of Felgahan. That's coming to PS5, Switch, and all that fun stuff. Another game that could come out next year, Metal Gear Solid Delta. Hopefully that does. Mafia Old Country for sure. Metroid Prime 4. Fable. God damn. There's so many games coming out. I'm keen. I think Fable is like, I'm going to fall into that. Like, I think I've fallen into Dragon Age, where it's just going to be, I'm just going to grind the hell out of that for like a solid couple of weeks. I think that's going to be a good time. Metroid Prime 4, I'm very excited for. It's a long time coming. Cannot wait to jump into it. Mafia looks like an absolute treat. Are you going to play Mafia, you reckon?
I think I want to, but I think it's one of those games that's going to have to slip just so I have time to play anything.
I'm going to stream Mafia so you can enjoy it too.
I appreciate that. Thank
you. I'm keen for Mafia. Yeah, keen for Metal Gear. Another game that we haven't spoken about yet, South of Midnight. I am
true.
So excited for South of Midnight. I cannot tell a lie. That art style is just like, it's... That alone was enough to make me go, I think I might play. From what we've heard from people that have played it, it's quite good. So I'm keen.
Yeah.
I can't wait for that one. Are you going to play South of
Midnight? I think so. I think it's another game that like Game Pass will really help as well. Like word of mouth won't take long to spread.
Yeah, true. Yeah, Game Pass is going to be so good for games like that, actually. Yeah, I always forget about that.
I feel like there's just been so many periods. I was going to say, like, I think there's been so many, like, quarters or half years where, like, the Game Pass subscription hasn't really paid for itself. But I think next year, I don't think that'll be a problem.
Yeah, I think next year's going to be the payoff, for sure. For sure. Hyperlight Breaker is also coming out next year. Super keen. And then I think, finally, the last thing to talk about is a game we really know nothing about other than the 4 protagonists and the general vibe is Marvel 1943 Rise of Hydra. Will be a very interesting one if it comes out.
That's right. It's a lot of like, and EA's got like the Iron Man game. That'll be 2026 probably.
For sure. I think everything EA's working on, like if we don't see it at summertime, is like, that's like 2026 and beyond.
They have a lot in the pipeline.
Well, yeah, they got
Do you think
Iron
we'll see
Man, Black
do you reckon
Panther.
we'll see the next Battlefield game next year?
I don't think we should. We might.
I don't. Yeah, I think you've perfect. No notes on what you've just said. Couldn't agree more.
Yeah, there's a possibility. And then, yeah, there's also like the stuff that, Call of Duty, that's going to happen and all that sort of stuff. Again, Call of Duty, I don't think it should, but it will. It always does. Just take a year off, guys. You know what I mean? Take a year off. And then there's all the games that are probably going to get announced that we don't even know about yet. It's already such a stacked year, and I know we've missed games. I know there's so many games already. I'm sure we've missed out on talking about some. I'm sure people out there are super mad that we didn't bring up that Game of Thrones mobile game. Oh man, crazy we didn't bring up that freaking mobile game, guys. Am I right? Damn. Game of Thrones needs a game like that on console and PC. Like, why are we putting it on mobile? You know what I mean? Like, I know it's to reach a wider audience, but like, I feel like Game of Thrones missed the boat on video games. Like, I feel like they had a real golden opportunity to drop a Dragon Age, Lord of the Rings level video game, and they
I
just...
think it would have had to have been in the HBO universe, though.
Yeah, I agree. But see, I agree, and I think if they had done that, right, at the right time, we could see a book universe game or a game that expands upon the universe, you know what I mean, dropping now, and people would be ready for it, you know what I mean? House of the Dragon is so huge. I know people didn't like Game of Thrones ending, but like, I think people would still be keen to be in that universe, you know? Missed the boat.
Well, I think Indiana Jones has really proven that for me, where it's like, they've been making movies. They've released a movie recently, love it or hate it, it exists. The games are a perfect way to fill out hard to reach areas. Like, as in, a Game of Thrones game would be a great place to fill out places that like they're just not going to go back and film at this point.
Yeah.
Actors are older, like things have moved on, right? And Indiana Jones, like obviously Harrison Ford's not gonna go back to that, like, the 30s or whenever that game's set, and like just like give it the same. They're gonna have to get a different actor, and on the big screen, it's an unknown variable. But in a video game, like we don't mind. Troy Baker does a great job.
It's funny you say that because they've said the same thing. I think in the last week they were like, "There's a lot of area of Indiana Jones's career that hasn't been touched yet." That they think of.
That's what I mean. I think gaming is the perfect place to go and. I feel like, especially now that we've got a good game, like it's in the game speaks for itself. Like it kind of feels risky to go into a movie. Let Machine Games have another crack. If they want to, let them have another crack.
Yeah,
let them go explore a different time.
Let them finish their Wolfenstein trilogy, and then they can have as much Indiana Jones as they want. I just need them to finish what they started, guys. Please. But yeah, that is the year of 2025, and it's shaping up to be a big one. Like, it's so funny that we always get to the end of the year and we're looking forward, and it's like, I feel like it's constantly said, like, next year could be the best year so far. Like, it's crazy that is a sentence that can be said at the end of almost every year to me. Like, they just keep...
Yeah, but not every year has a Grand Theft Auto on the horizon. I feel like
that's true.
I feel like whatever year that lands in, just move people. But that's the thing, right? If it's coming out in September, say, or October, and a whole swath of games move to the year after, the year might end up feeling a little empty. Whereas last time Grand Theft Auto dropped, A, the anticipation probably wasn't this fucking high, but B, because it was the end of the generation, you couldn't delay The Last of Us or Tomb Raider or BioShock to next year. Like, you had to get that shit out, like, on the PS3. Whereas, like, this time around, it's going to be interesting to see how it shakes out. Like, it'll be interesting to see what moves, what can move, what companies can't afford to move.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to watch. But do you want to know what's going to be a constant?
What's that?
Nintendo do not give a fuck. They will be dropping their bangers at the end of next year.
But this is the thing, right? You buy a Switch, you buy 6 Nintendo games, you buy Grand Theft Auto. I mean, that's a lot of money.
That's a good year. You know what I mean?
No, that's a great year. But then you release like fucking, I don't know, whatever's on that list.
COD.
And it's not on Game Pass.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
COD will help stack the end of the year, I think, regardless. I think, like,
No, but I'm just thinking like there might actually be a shortage of fucking people buying games by that stage in the year.
Well, that's where Game Pass is going to come in handy. I think that's where Xbox is going to be like,
Yeah, they've really cemented that, haven't they?
yeah, like,
I think that's why they're going to be trying so hard to get Game Pass in other places, like as in, more people on PC using it. Like, because once people are used to that coming out of their wallet every month, it's over. Like,
yeah.
you'll just submit to it.
Yeah, it's like I don't watch Netflix. I think people in my house do, but I'm still paying for it.
Oh, that's how it works for me. I don't touch
Yeah.
Netflix, but a lot of people do here. So it's like
I
you
should
just live with
ask.
it, right? Like, oh yeah,
I should
like
ask.
yeah, like, well, I guess what I'm saying though is like you don't put up a fight against it. It just comes out. It's
yeah,
like, oh, yeah.
it's one of those. It's like paying for power at this point. You know what I mean? Netflix is like, and that's what they want. Like they just want you to have it coming out every month and not think about it.
I was only thinking today, like obviously electricity in Australia is such a fucking debate at the moment for some fucking stupid reason, and people talk as if like power is optional. Like it's like we're at the point where like if it's not on for a while, like people won't be happy.
Yeah.
We sort of pretend like we could just not have it for a while, or like you know what I mean? Like it's like, oh yeah, we could just, it's risky, but we could do it. It's like, oh fucking hell.
Dude,
Anyway,
honestly,
not what
yeah,
this podcast
that's
is about.
crazy. But like, I think people forget, right? No power, no internet. Like people are like, oh, I need to pay my internet bill. I'll push the power down the road. It's like, where'd the power go? Ah, my internet.
The original NBN was meant to run for 6 hours during a power outage, but you and I are both without internet if the power goes out now.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Sad times.
Sad times. Sad times at the El Royale. Well, mate, thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Mate, any bloody time. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening and watching. We really do appreciate it. We will be back next week with our final episode of the year. Our version of the Game Awards, which will have a cool, fancy name by the time we get there. I promise. I'm thinking about it. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. We really do appreciate it. To keep up to date with everything that Jack and myself are doing, head over to oneupgames.com. You'll find links to all of our socials. If you're on YouTube right now, we are really close. I'm not the kind of guy that does this, but we are like so close to like getting to like level 1 of like the YouTube partner program. Please go watch videos. We're like under 50 hours watch time away from being able to apply. So if we could get that done before the end of the year, that would just be a capper to what I think has been a really good year for OneUp and will lead into what is hopefully going to be an even bigger year for OneUp. We have lots of plans, lots of stuff we want to do, which we will share with you in time. Remember, April 5th is the OneUp anniversary. That's when you'll see the big OneUp update video. You might get a couple in the start of the new year, but that's when we'll have the big one. That's our birthday. But yeah, thanks everybody for listening. We do appreciate you guys doing this all the time. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you are on the YouTube. We really do appreciate it. But until next time, may all of your games be good ones, and we will catch you guys next week. Bye, everybody.
Bye.